Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this, the 12th episode of Blade Talk, where we're talking shop tours, file handles, and then the odd knife maker's tip. Yeah, let me just get that out of the way so I don't have this weird shadow over my face. Well, won't have issues. It will not be Blade Talk. So, let's do this. Let's try that again. Nothing's happening. So I feel like a bit of a twist. Why? Because stuff is not happening. I can't play me funky intro. So, Mr. Smith, technical issues galore, yeah? So
you must be one of these odd knife makers that you were talking about.
All right, so we've already got guys from Facebook saying, Glenn, how's it going, buddy? All right, so we said that we wanted to talk shop tours. All right, so sorry, I'm kind of squinting and going in and out and. All right, so shop tours, dude. So I phoned you up and said, Stuart, send me a video and do a shop tour, and you did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to brush my hair and everything.
You had to brush your hair and everything, he says. All right, so do you want us to wait until we've got a couple of more guys in and then talk about I'm going to sit here and continue playing with my balls. All right, and then you tell me, what do you find interesting on shop tours? So if you have a shop guys, shop tours, yeah. Why do shop tours? Why is it a thing?
For myself, I like to see what kind of grinders the guys are using.
Yeah? What type of grinders are you using?
Yeah, I'm very proud of my grinder because it was a custom jobby from the Herbsts. You know, they gave me the 2.2 grinder motor, and whenever he comes to my workshop, it is a source of great envy because they don't make them like that. They made it like that because I asked them very, very nicely. Because Stuart loves to grind very, very hard. And maybe it's one of the reasons why I keep breaking belt as well. And especially when you're grinding big Bowie knives, you need that capacity. So I'm very proud of my grinder. And when I see somebody else who's got another 2.2, we kind of give ourselves a wink and a fist bump, you know. Because we know why we
yeah, so 2.2 kilowatt rocks. It really does.
Yeah.
But do you find that you require the 2.2 kilowatt, that torque, on steel or on wood?
Steel, because with wood I use the 36 grit belt. You know, and the 36 just tears through wood, even if the machine doesn't have any torque. Because I used my old machine that I had to sell, which the capacitor was gone. If you're going to lean on it slightly, it stopped, you know. But if you put a 36 grit on it and turned it up to its fastest, it would cut through the wood like it wasn't even there. Except for maybe Mopani. No grinder likes Mopani.
No grinder likes Mopani, you reckon?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just have the opposite thing. Glenn is saying, what is Glenn saying? Little gadgets that people make to make things easier. Yeah, brother. So I just found it completely opposite, where on steel, I grind and I don't like, well, you see me grinding and I'm in a hurry, I add pressure, like serious pressure. But I only started doing that when I actually upgraded my machine to a 2.2 kilowatt motor. All right, and this is a couple of years ago. But the main thing I did the upgrade was not for steel, but more for when I was still doing axe handles. When you've got that entire 300 platen making contact with a 36 grit belt on wood.
Yeah,
and it just creates so much drag that sorry?
I said that's an exception to the rule then, because not all of us grind axe handles. In fact, very few of us grind axe handles.
Yeah, well, that's why I upgraded my machine to a 2.2 kilowatt like 6 years ago. Yeah.
No.
You understand what I'm saying? It was not because of grinding, style lighting. That's my shop, man. Damn it. But that's the reason I upgraded. Because especially if I'm doing custom stuff, you're doing production stuff, man. My production grinder runs 2 1.5 kilowatt motors, and I've never been able to kill that thing. All right. So, and if you're familiar with my production stuff, it is the double wheel hollow grinder that I did 500 million years ago. But if I'm doing
it's like having 1 3 kilowatt motor grinding. I mean, that would be nice.
There's no way that you kill it. No way. And then also, I mean, there's variable speed and the whole thing. But anyway, when I do flats on the rough grind, yes, I kill the machine. I really do. But then obviously pushing too hard, you're stuffing up the belts and blah, blah, blah. But now that I upgraded to 2.2 kilowatt, and as soon as you get used to that, now teaching a class and having to go over to one of my 0.75 horsepower machines and helping a student just get a plunge right or just doing something, it's a bit frustrating. It really is a tad frustrating.
Yes. Like,
so I'll eventually tell the guy, look, you know what, just bring this piece. Let's go over to my one of two grinders in. So out of the 9 machines that I have, 2 of them run 2.2 kilowatt motors, and obviously the one is my primary. And if something has to happen with that one, for instance, maintenance or whatever, it's down for a week, I just use the other 2.2. And if I do Axe classes, I only take 2 students on those classes.
What
the hell? I don't know, man. And my like technical dude, right, is sitting here on his funking phone.
Tell me when I said hi.
He's supposed to be in the shop adding value. He's just smoking the fucking Wi-Fi. That's the value he's adding today. So everyone say welcome to Luan. Yeah, let me just adjust this. There we go. Thank you, Luan. Pay attention. Yeah, if the lights dip, fix it. How? Don't ask me.
Yeah.
Right, but anyway, so that's why I've got the 2.2 kilowatt motor. Long and short.
I did a demonstration at a knife club meeting. They invited me all the way out there, and then I got my car. And I drove out there and I said, yeah, we're going to do a grinding demonstration. It's going to be fun. It won't take very long because grinding is quick. And it turns out grinding is actually not quick. When you're limited to 1.7 and dare I say sometimes even 0.8 or 0.9 motors, and I grind and the motor goes and it stops. I'm like, what the hell? This is going to take forever.
That's a bit frustrating, is it?
It's like, man, it's so frustrating. We're spoiled.
So if you guys are wondering, you are watching and or listening to Blade Talk. Yeah, what do we do on Blade Talk?
Damn it, I thought I had it. We talk shit.
What do we do on Blade Talk? We talk crap. Yeah, as easy as that. As long as we touch on a knife or whatever every now and then on a grinder, and we've now covered grinders, why we upgraded and all that way. So now we can just end up talking crap.
When we talk knives, there's no bullshit. Everything else is bullshit.
Exactly. All right. So equipment in your shop.
The first thing I look at is a grinder. There we go.
Yeah.
For 8 minutes, we spent talking about grinders and not what we do in our workshop.
So the thing that I really like about shop tours, and I honestly believe you guys should really post. So anyone listening, do a shop tour of your shop. It doesn't matter how advanced you are, whether you're a starter off dude, whether you're a weekend warrior. It doesn't matter. Just do a workshop tour. Right? Share what tools you have and the space you have. And that'll give a lot of guys some real insight. I mean, there are guys doing incredible work with literally just like a half an anvil and like a rock as a hammer. And I mean, he's toasting his salami on the one side of the barbecue, and he's got his wife's hair dryer on the other side, and he's managing to do this. Yeah, it's not about the equipment.
Absolutely,
it's about
equipment. The equipment doesn't hurt.
No. Not at all. Well, sometimes
money doesn't buy you happiness. No, but it can buy you better tools, which will make you happy.
Yes, it can. But I've never lost a finger using a file. Yeah, and I've lost quite a couple of tips of fingers on my freaking belt grinder.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Gonna test it.
And there's one that doesn't want to grow back. Yeah. Okay. So for the guys that missed it, I'm playing with my balls on air. Yeah. Right, and we'll get to this. This is something that I saw a good friend do, and he took these little balls, right, a round ball, drilled a hole in it, and then stuck a file in it. All right, so he made himself a little file handle. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I phoned him, and I completely lost my shit when I saw that. I'm going, why? Because the first thing I went to my bench and I grabbed one, and it's just like, how fucking odd is this? That's not a file handle. So literally, I made one. I used it for like 5 minutes, and I got cramps in my hands. And then I started thinking, and he used billiard balls, yeah, so pool balls. And then I went online and said, how much are those pool balls? $1,600 for a set. Okay, so now you've got 50.
I can tell you why your hand was cramping. I can tell you why your hand was cramping. It's because your wife gives you too much sex and you don't spend enough time wanking.
But my hands don't cramp using a file handle that was specifically designed for long-term use. Ergonomics, yeah, light, doesn't tire you out, nothing. Yeah, but we'll get to that. So that's why I'm playing with balls on air. Yeah. You guys missed this show. Ask Stuart's wife. She saw it.
Oh, yeah. Neels did a little striptease for us before the show started.
Yes. Obviously,
I saw his nipples. I've seen the black dragon nipples.
Well, they're really pale. Yeah.
Black
there's once a year that I get to take my shirt off, and that is when we go to Durban Easter Knife Show, and I spend my customary 5 minutes on the beach. Yeah. Just doing that photo. My feet on the beach, on the sand, with the waves in the background, and that. Yeah. I used to live in the ocean, man, but now not so much. Yeah. Okay, so getting back to this. So we've got file handles. We'll talk about it later, but still the shop tour thing. What I really dig about the shop tours is checking the guys' layouts of their shops. There's like a kitchen. Yeah, you know the triangle in the kitchen. Yeah. So it's the same thing. How far is your workbench from your grinder, from your belts, blah, 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 blah. How much time do you spend working, just walking your ass off in your shop? Do you constantly go in a little circle and you end up like a drunk poodle because you feel you need to change direction now? Is there a specific path that you can see this guy constantly walks, or do he step back and actually think about the production line of things and actually set the shop up in the way that he actually makes his machines? Or was it a fact of, look, I have an open shed. First tool is the grinder. It gets stuck in right in the middle center. And as you get other crap, a place gets stuck in. And that layout of that shop has been like that since day one. Yeah. So that's what I love about shop tours. And then obviously I'll pause and kind of zoom in on my phone to go and have a look. What crap does that guy have on his bench? What cool tool does he have? And that's why I love shop tours.
The coolest workshop I was in was Lloyd Hale in America.
Yeah.
And now Lloyd has got a lot of health issues, right? And he can't spend a lot of time standing. He actually, most of the time, he gets around in a little motorized wheelchair.
All right.
And he has got all his grinders, his band saws, his disc sanders, and he's got a lot of grinders. Hey, one for everything, and they all surround him like a donut with a little entrance on one side. And he's got one swivel chair in the middle. And he's got his workbench where he prepares the stuff. And all he does is he just turns in the chair and he goes to the one grinder, and then he turns to goes to the next one. The guy doesn't need to walk around his workshop at all. It's amazing.
Is there a funnel?
Yeah, there's a funnel to get in.
No, I'm talking about it. You don't have to go to the toilet unless it's the number 2.
Yeah.
Like an army lily.
Possibly battery or something. Well, look, my workshop is in traditional horseshoe shape, okay? Because I've only got a one-car garage as my workshop. So all my tools and everything are around the outside like this of the walls, and then I've got a walk space in the middle. I mean, you know, you've been there. And I put all my machines on one side, because if you do need to do machine work, it's just walking up and down one spot. And I've got my workbench on the other side, which is where you sit statically and you do work on a workbench. So yeah, that was just a simple setup for me, so that I didn't have to zigzag up and down my workshop.
That works, man. That works. Sean, then stop posting all these cool memes, right? Sean is like my go-to guy for memes. So if you check my Instagram feed, they all come from this dude, right? And he is a cool guy, so that's why in the beginning I said, yeah, I'm so stealing this. No, I just steal it now. Done. You should know now. Good day, Marcus. How's it going, buddy?
The Black Dragon.
Dude, you just started something. Who else is there?
Jack,
how's it going? And then we've got Dave. How's it going, dude? All right, so without, obviously there is something. All right, some rum and maple. Yeah, Neil, that's actually what I still have in my stock, man. But what we're going to do without any further ado is we are going to show you that guy there. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you point out something before
you start playing? Can I point out something before you start playing here?
Please.
I do live broadcast all the time. I don't stutter. I don't and ah. I'm very well accustomed to public speaking. Filming this fucking video took me 40 minutes of multiple takes. And the first one was 10 minutes long, and I kept umming and ahhing. I couldn't remember my words. And I was like, what the hell is going on? I was like some bloody rookie who'd never done this before. So if it seems a little wooden, that's why. I don't know what happened. My brain just turned off. I had a brain fart. I think a brain shit, more like it. But yeah, so this is my excuse for not being confident and cheerful on the bloody video.
Okay. So on that note, let's start this thing, yeah?
I'm Stuart Smith, owner and operator of Smith Handforged Knives. Let me give you a quick tour of all the cool things that I do around here. Right here, we've got
the video
forging area.
Playing cool with you.
This is my faithful anvil that I've had for years.
Sticky.
Every knife that I've made has been on
sticking, yeah.
Over here, I've got Black Dragon forges made by Neels van Berg. This is a Black Dragon Mark 1 for all my standard forging, and a Black Dragon Mark 2 for doing all the Damascus. As we go into the workshop here, we've got my favorite minion. This is a 50-ton hydraulic press with a drawing die and a flattening die on the side. We've got my Herbst 2.2 kilowatt grinder because we like to grind hard. A variety of belts. My Bertie Rietveld horizontal grinder as well. Disc sander for all my handles.
Is this breaking up horribly for you?
Flat so we can get everything nice.
I'm getting total fragmentation. I can't see anything.
Variety of work that I'm busy with.
Yeah, I've got no idea what's going on, man.
Junk and junk and junk. All the way around the top of my workshop.
All right, hold on.
I don't think any workshop would be complete.
Hold on, I'm going to just kill this. All right, and I'm going to restart it. Yeah? Okay, hold on. Let's try this again. I think it just sat in limbo for way too long.
I'm Stuart, owner and operator of Smith Handforged Knives. Let me give you all the cool things that I do around here.
Stop thinking, man.
Right here.
Is it better?
This is my faithful anvil that I've had for 20 years. Every knife that I've made has been on this little thing here.
Oh, man.
I've got 2 Black Dragon forges made by Neels van Berg.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to...
for doing all the Damascus.
Let me pause this.
All
right, and what I'm also going to do is I'm going to drag the volume down because obviously this thing now doesn't want to play.
Yeah.
So I am going to fast forward through it. How's this? All right, so talk us about that. Sorry, man, this was supposed to freaking play.
Okay, fine. Leave it there. That's fine. Okay, so what you're looking at there, on the top right and in the center are my patented Smith hand-forged knife forges that were plagiarized from Black Dragon Forge.
I like that.
Okay, so basically I had a Black Dragon Mark 1. I think it was the second one you ever made. And that thing worked tirelessly for many, many, many years until all the refractory on the inside started chipping away and it was no longer being efficient. So Neels helped me out, and we got another one into my workshop. So now that one's working great. Still struggled with the flame a little, but for the most part, it works great. But that's my giant nozzle.
What do you mean?
I need to tweak.
Freaking supercharged yours.
I know. I need to tweak my nozzle.
Yeah, I can't help you there, dude.
And then in the top there, now, if you ever watched Neels and I making Damascus in the early days, we used to take that forge there into other people's workshop. Was it this forge or was it another one?
I'll need to have a look at the regulator. Does yours have a solid big ass brass regulator or a red one?
It's got a big black one. I like the big black ones, yeah.
Is it square?
No, it's not square.
Okay, no, then I have the first one here.
You can see the regulator there. Hang on a second. See where the intake is for the Mark 1? The burner. See where the burner is for the Mark 1? Just hanging below that is the regulator.
Oh, it is the square. Yeah, you've got the original, the prototype. Yeah, buddy.
There you go.
That is the prototype.
And it's been working for a long time. And I still make even though the chamber is kind of bigger because the refractory chips off every now and again, it still makes damn good demand with that forge.
You just come and I should just give you a new chamber, buddy. So we'll just rebuild everything. I mean, after what's it now? 9 going on years.
I want to keep using his until it falls to pieces. That's the way I was raised.
It is falling to pieces 10 years later. Yeah? Show me any other forge on the market that's got that track record.
Exactly.
So that
let's
was
see if we can push it to 15. I can't put it up. I deleted the video off my phone, so I can't put it up. I can't screen share.
I will send it back to you, man. No, what Dave is saying that you should put it onto your YouTube channel. It is going to happen, man. It is going to happen. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. So your hammer, I know that your hammer is quite special.
Yes. Well, I had 2 of these hammers. They are actually masonry hammers. Okay, so you can tell by the tapered faces, rather than the I don't want to call it Alex Steel style hammer, but it's the one that Alex Steel makes, with the 2 mushrooms,
the everybody's rounding hammer.
Yeah, everybody's nuts for those, but I don't know. I've tried forging with those; it doesn't feel right. Maybe it's because I've been using these masonry hammers for too long. But my dad picked up 2 of these masonry hammers when he was a young appy, around about 19, 20 years old, and he picked them up from an antique store. Okay. And already from that antique store, they look like what they look like now. So I reckon these hammers must be over 100 years old now, easily. And I had a slightly larger one. This is a 4-pound hammer. I had a I think it was a 5-pound hammer I was using in the early days. Okay, so that's just what I got used to, And I went to Huntex one year and I did the forging demonstration with them like I always did. And I left my hammer on my anvil. I went inside, had my lunch, I came out, my hammer was gone. Somebody had stolen it, borrowed it, and had forgotten to put it back. I had malice of forethought, removed the hammer from my anvil because it had a really cool, I carved the handle out in a Celtic knots, and made it special, made it my own, And then some fucker went and stole it, and after that day, I never did a demonstration at Huntex, and I also withdrew from Huntex, but that's for other reasons, not because of the hammer.
Okay.
So I really happy about that because my beautiful hammer is out there somewhere, and I'm not happy about it. However, I was lucky enough that I had a second one, slightly lighter one, which is the one that I've used now. And every knife that comes out of my workshop has been squeezed between that hammer and that anvil for the last, well, because the other hammer was stolen. Now this new one. So with this hammer, probably the last 6 years, 7 years, I've been using.
Yeah, sounds about right. Okay, so you've got this bucket thing over the horn of your anvil. What the hell's up with that, dude?
Okay, so that's my flux bucket. Okay, so when you brush flux off your Damascus, if you brush it with a dry brush, the flux sticks to your fluxing brush. Okay, whereas if you wet your brush and then you deflux your billet with a wire brush, the flux flies off. So you don't get flux stuck in your flux brush if you keep your flux brush wet.
Excellent. So that was one of those quick tips we were talking about earlier. Yeah. So as we're discussing the tools and whatever, you guys will get these little pro tips going through. Yeah. More on Stuart's side than on mine, because you'll see. So let's try to see whether we can actually play now.
So next to the what you call it, the Mark II is my quench tank.
Is the quench tank in the corner? Is that the quench tank right there?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So what I've done is I've replaced my old goop quench. I finally took Neels' advice and I threw away my goop, which was about 3 or 4 kilograms of pig fat mixed with transmission oil. I had great success with it for a long time, but Neels is right. I admitted my shortcomings and I bought some professional quenching oil. And this quenching oil lasts a long time. Yes, a win for Neels, but I shall still call it.
But now I need to just say that my first odd 30 knives was quenched in your goop quench.
Yeah.
And you
one mixer for a long time as well, didn't you?
Yes. I passed both my ABS Journeyman Smith cut and bend performance test using the Wayne Goddard's 3-2-1 goop quench.
Yeah.
Well, not the goop quench, but the 3-2-1 mix, as well as my performance test for the Guild, South African Knife Makers Guild. So there's nothing wrong with it. There really is nothing wrong with it. What the guys don't realize is that you can't just mix that up once. So I replaced my mix every 15, 20 knives because the oils break down, and the commercial heat treat oils do not break down.
Yeah, last a long time.
Yeah, there's a reason we call it a traditional method versus a modern method. The technology came into play. All right, so let's move on a ever so slightly tad. I try to stop it right there, and it's not stopping. There we go. With the finger.
With the finger, yeah. Okay, you'll notice just in the top of the ram there's a Black Dragon Forge sticker as well.
Oh, hell yes.
All right, so that's my Minion. I called it Minion because it's yellow, and Neels and I had a great adventure getting this from Bloemfontein. I think it was Bloemfontein, wasn't it?
It was. That was a great adventure.
And we went down there to collect it from Roy Kieser. And we got there, and it was a little bit bigger than I thought it was when I saw the pictures. And we put it on the back of Neels' bucky, and that thing weighs a fucking ton, man. That's a lot of steel. So
that was not a quick load, not at all, not at all. That took
we did it the South African way. Okay.
Yeah, a load of guys just
found the vocals, and we paid them money. And we said, do it. We went and sat down and we watched them do it. She was awful. And then the same when we got back to your side, we had Sulu and all them. No, it wasn't. It was my guys. It was Peter.
At your place, yeah.
I got Peter, our gardener. We said, look, your buddies want to make some money quickly, and he got about, I think it was about 5 of them.
Yeah.
And they all came by. And put them up, and it was quick, eh?
It was quick. It was. The offload took a hell of a lot quicker than the loading it initially.
Yeah.
All right, so
we tried to help, and I think both me and Neels felt something snap inside.
No, you guys handle this. You're doing brilliantly, and they did, man. I remember I think it was 2 or 3 days after we offloaded. You just wanted to move it ever so slightly. And I was in the shop, and here's myself and Stuart trying to move this thing. Yeah. And I eventually just said, well, it wants to live right there, it stays there.
Well, it lived outside the shop for a little bit because we had to move it inside. Okay. Because I wanted it protected. You know, I don't want people stuffing with it because it's out in the open. So we had to, the press section itself is tricky, but you can kind of lean it and walk it, you know. Yeah. But that tank full of oil, jeez, man, that thing is so heavy. It must be like 200 kilograms or something, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Anyways, it's there. It doesn't move.
Now, after the fact that I've done research on the presses and the whole thing, I realized that tank of yours, is way overkill.
It's because it's a 90-ton ram. Okay, you realize this? That is a 90-ton ram.
Yeah,
the motor volume on it.
No, hold on.
The motor on it is designed for 50 tons, so it only gives me 50 tons of pressure. And this little bit of advice to anybody who wants to get a press to forge Damascus or to work on your knives: you don't need a 50-ton ram. 20 to 30 tons is all you need. Really, this is overkill. I mean, over-engineered. It's a great. I got it for a bargain. I mean, I got it for 25,000 rand. This will go for 45, 50K these days.
I mean, and like I spoke to Stuart like 2 or 3 days before we actually went and picked it up, right? And he was in 2 minds going, should he buy it? Should he not buy it? Blah, blah, blah. And I told him, dude, if you're not buying this thing, I am. Not.
Yeah.
And he was kind of this way, and I already phoned the bank, and I had a loan standing by. And then I phoned him, I think it was the day before we picked it up. I said, dude, are you buying this thing? And he says, yes. And I'm like, I'm glad for you, but...
And Neels, Honorable Neels didn't undercut me and go to the guy before and say, I'll take it.
No, man, I mean, that's not kosher. You can't do that. Yeah. But anyway, all right, so let's move.
You can see I've got the dies there in the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, those are dies I made for myself. Those are solid blocks of steel, okay? Those dies are freaking heavy, all right? But it's a 90-ton ram. It doesn't even notice them, okay? The thing is, those aren't correctly made. So I'm getting the guy from Scale Forge. What's his name? The guy who makes the new power hammers.
Huh?
Trinity Forges. Trinity.
Garth Fletcher. Yeah.
I had a chat with Garth, and he's going to help me engineer a set of proper drawing dies, flatting dies, squaring dies. We're going to have a full set made for it so that I can work properly, because this works nice as it does now, but it's like having a Ferrari with flat tires, you know. It goes, but not like it should.
I like that. I like that. All right, so let's see. Talking. Stop. And then you've got your 3-wheel.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's the reason the platen is like that. Is I was just, for one of the earlier videos I attempted to make, I was showing how that thing rotated. And I think I talked about that grinder for about 4 minutes. So, yeah, that was one of the issues. Okay. So you can see the large 2.2 on the back there. It's a standard 3-wheel grinder, but the platen I've got is the Herbst Ultimate Platen, which has got a small wheel on top, a large serrated wheel on the bottom, which really helps a lot if you want a hollow grind. The problem is the platen is too small, and I've learned to work on it, but I would prefer a much longer platen for larger blades. It makes it grinding longer blades much easier. And yeah, it's got a little variable speed drive on there as well. It's got the standard case, well, not the standard case, it's got the deluxe case that goes around the stand, which is quite nice as well. Keeps it protected, keeps all the wires and everything safe. You can see it's already starting to rust there in the front from where I dip it in the bucket. But I dip my hot steel in the bucket. And every time you flash the painting in the case, it wears away just a little bit. And you can see it's been happening for a while now. I need to give it a brush and maybe another coat of paint.
Excellent, man. I just want to address Sean's comment here, saying those brake fluid mixed stuff. Apparently, it can cause cancer. It's all right. So there are mixers that call for using brake fluid. Anything that tells you to use brake fluid and is not in your car, just don't do it. The mix I'm talking of or referring to is Wayne Goddard's in the $50 knife shop. Is the 3-to-1 mix, formula number 2 under quenching mediums. All right, and it calls for 3 units car oil, 2 units transmission fluid, not fucking brake fluid, transmission gearbox oil, yeah, and then 1 unit diesel. You mix those up, done. But then this is also another reason why you're going to be going to a commercial heat treat oil, so all of those carcinogenic causing elements is not in there. We also addressed a comment in last, I think this previous episode or the episode before that, where a gentleman asked if he quenched in GTX, Castrol GTX, whether it'll add wear resistance to the blade, and no, it does not. All right, so sorry, buddy. How's it going, Trent? Okay, so platen, you would like a larger face on your platen?
Yes, definitely a larger face. It helps a lot with the with, like I say, with large blades. And as a guy who makes a lot of Bowie knives, this will definitely be more useful to me. The problem is if you make it longer, and I want to keep those large wheel attachments, that the whole thing has to move closer and closer to the arm, the tension arm, and it starts to become more difficult to grind because then you've got the mounting arm starting to stick out in front of the platen, so it becomes redundant. So I need to figure something. I need to get something custom, special made for me to help me grind the big Bowie knives.
And have you gone to just a standard platen with the 2 aluminum wheels?
I had one. I think I sold it with the previous grinder that I got rid of. So sorry, there we go.
So that is
definitely have to invest in a new platen. Yeah.
But that platen you're running there with the small neoprene or polyurethane cover top wheel and the serrated bottom wheel, that is a Harps thing. And I've not seen anyone run this.
Neels will know this as well. A couple of guys have done this, I think on my advice. I can't remember. I had a hardened 01 platen put on because the mild steel platen a lot of guys supply on either a piece of angle iron or a piece of flat iron, whatever. When you grind as many blades as we do, that thing gets dipped in it, it wears out, and you can't get flat grinds out of it. So it's really irritating. This one, even the hardened piece now, if you have a look at it, it's got a little dip in it. So I need to send it for surfacing to get it smoothed out.
So bring it over, man. Pop around. We've got a rig built specifically for maintenance on the metal faces on all my platens. So we just strap that thing down on the surface grinder and just go tick, tick, tick. So all my faces on all my platens, I use 12mm thick D2. Yeah, 50 broad, 12 mil thick.
You need to have the thick steel, otherwise it's just not worth it. Because also another problem I have with the platen is it overheats, and that overheating snaps belts.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
now
does.
I saw a guy in America. It might have been the steel guy. I can't remember what's his name. Anyways, one of the guys had a channel put in the back of his platen, and he runs water through it.
Oh yeah. That's something that a lot of guys in the States run. But then Edward Raw. Yeah, Ed ran that. I actually asked him about it, and the guy that made his no longer made them. Yeah. So yeah, that's something I've been thinking about doing on one of my machines. And I actually got a drawing of it and the whole thing. But I've never gotten around to it, man. Never. I don't know why. Maybe. But the cost on that and just
when I go to town grinding on that little platen, after about 2 hours, and if I'm lucky enough not to have snapped any belts, you can spray that thing with water and it sizzles.
Yeah.
You know, that's hot, man. That's really hot.
What you can also do is just upgrade the thickness of that piece of plate you've got in there. So next time, don't use 8 mil thick, rather go to like a 12 or a 15 mil thick. Yeah, make it real thick. And then it'll stay cooler longer, but then also once it's heated up, yeah, you're going to run into issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack, I like D2 because D2 compared to 01 wear resistance is a tad better.
Yeah.
And then obviously 01 temperature on that is very close to where you can actually get up.
01 is what they had, so I think you're right. I would have preferred D2.
Yeah. So I actually spoke to Masters with Kevin Harvey, and I asked him what would he prefer, and he said, well, if he had to do that, then he would go for D2. And that was like way in the beginning when I just built my first grinder, and I just had that made up and done, man. You have a double feed on the sound. Lawrence, no, there should be no feedback on sound.
I'm not getting anything on my side.
Yeah, me neither, man. Okay, so let's move on.
Yep.
You're back on there, you're back on there, and then we're talking about belts.
Yeah, those all the belts.
Why is this not stopping?
There we go, perfect. That's fine. On the left there is the Bertie Rietveld made horizontal grinder that takes the small belts. Ideally, I'd have black one with a longer neck so that I could use the big belts, because then I don't have to buy two separate belts, you know. But it works.
Yeah, so that's a 1.6 meter belt, right?
0.6, yeah, it's a short one, yeah. No, hang on, 1.6, yeah, 1.6, yeah, because the big ones take the 2 meter belts.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so I used a little one.
You've got the disc stand on the side there.
Huh?
And you've got a disc stand on the side there.
No, that's the Afritipa disc sander, yeah.
Okay. All right, so what do you use the spindle grinder for?
What do I use it for?
Yeah.
Making knives. Okay, now I use it for all my if you do when you're making a garment,
yeah,
with a finger notch, okay, with a little quilling at the bottom, all right, little finger protector notch thingy. I pre-make it on this and actually grind the hollow in before I glue my handle together, so that when it comes to grinding the wood and the guard material flush, I don't overheat the guard, and I can just grind my handle material up to the brass or bronze or stainless or whatever. And there's very little heat that goes into that to either destabilize glue, burn the wood, or just generally stuff with your efforts. So I do all my work, that kind of work on that little grinder, and I burn my fingers all at once, all in one sitting, and yeah, and I don't have to do it later and screw up my knife. And then I use the disc sander on the right for making guards flat, for making handles flat. Yeah.
Stop. So that little quick tip, all right, was they reshape your guard up to what percent?
I go about 90% finished. Basically, all I really have to do is just make sure the tip of the guard aligns with the edge of the blade. Symmetry is generally there already when I fit it on, and the hollow of the groove that where your finger goes, I've already rounded that off as well. So it's about 90% done. It's mainly removing scratches and fitting it up with the wood.
Excellent. So what Stuart is saying that once he's got his blade, he's fitted his guard on there, and he's doing a drop little guard at the bottom, all right, where you're from the bottom of the guard, that curvature.
Yeah.
In the guard, he pre-grinds that in before
Hang on
glue
a second.
up. So he pre-grinds that before glue up. Then that aids you when shaping the blade, that you don't overheat the guard, therefore affecting the glue up, the actual glue of itself. And I'm suspecting he's gone to go and get an example, so let me do that.
Okay, that. Okay, so this, like you see it here, is all done like that before I assemble the handle. So that little guard is nicely ground. I may grind a little bit more away with a small wheel grinder, but that's pretty much it. And I grind these sides in as well. See the little groove that drops below the, damn it, man, these angles. See, it kind of drops below the ricasso there. Even though this part doesn't, but this little part here, which is like just to conform your finger, this is all done beforehand. So there you go.
Oh, excellent.
There you go. Ouch! I need a plaster.
What did you do?
I dropped the knife on me.
Oh, Stuart,
There we go. The first Blade Talk injury. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure there's going to be someone. That was a short knife. You're right.
Hang on a sec. Thank you.
Safety officers.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take focus off Stuart. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're going to move on to the next segment. Let's just see where we're going. We talked about the disc sander.
Yeah.
And he's and blah, blah, blah. And then you go on to what's at the top shelf there.
Junk.
What is on that top shelf?
Junk. Oh, that's
junk.
And junk everywhere.
How big is it?
And then you've got your finishing bench.
Yeah, there we go. That's my finishing bench. Now, luckily enough, hang on, sorry, we're just applying a plaster here.
No problem.
I don't know if it's going to stick with all the fuzz on the bloody arm.
I know. As when I pull the plaster off, it's going to hurt.
How's it going, Michelle?
Yeah, I'm just not impressed. Stupid.
Yeah. So this knife is actually drawn blood. There you go. Look at that.
Excellent.
All right. Okay.
Well, I do have a saying that shows if you bleed on it, you've bought it.
But it's my knife already. All right. Okay, I'm healed. Right, let's see. Yeah, that's my finishing bench. Okay, so there I've got the old Baron rotary grinder that I got from your wife for services rendered. And in those drawers in the back there are little handle bits, like bits of ivory for spacers and shim stock and little bits of micarta and all the tiny little bits that you use to spacers and whatnot in the back of handles. So those are all in there. On the left there, you can see. Thank you, my love. On the left there, you can see the two tubes which carry a lot of my oddly shaped pinning material. There's a brass shim there rolled up, ready for use for all my pugos. And then, oh boy, to my everlasting shame, there's a sketch pad. There's a sketch pad, tracing pad on my table where I designed my bloody dagger. And
I like that.
Neels refuses to accept anybody in his 48-hour build if they don't bloody design their dagger. So I designed it there.
And then one thing I've noticed is at the right, you see where my cursor is moving?
Yeah.
Yeah. A crisp industrial plug.
Nothing breaks that thing. That's my press plugged in.
Excellent. I should actually go and get a couple of more of these. I mean, that thing is just indestructible. Absolutely. And I see you've got two friggin' fire extinguishers on your bench. Are you in the habit of? Are you in the business of setting shit on fire on your bench?
No, I never had a fire extinguisher before until Alan moved to Cape Town and he didn't want to pack that shit in his truck, so he just gave it to me.
Oh, brilliant! Just on that note, have you ever had a shop fire?
Never once.
Excellent. Okay, so we're going to move on.
Okay. Stop before you move on. Stop.
Oh.
Okay, there's one. Stay there. If you look.
Damn it.
Too far. They stop in the middle. There you go. Okay, so if you look on the right-hand side of the screen, you see there's a little wooden board underneath the cupboard.
Yes.
That's got all my rotary tool bits are there. All the cheap ones anyway. The nice expensive fad ones stay in their little blue containers.
And you're hiding them, are you?
Yeah, they're actually hanging next to them on the other side if you scroll back a little bit. But
Yeah, I can't even see the cursor. That's why things are really so dodgy. So let's try this.
there you go.
Oh,
Right
there we
next
go.
to
Behind the hanging
the
motor.
hanging there, yeah.
So
Yeah,
right there.
So,
So the
there's a whole
guys
bunch
listening
of
to this podcast,
I've got about 10 of them.
so the guys listening to this via the podcast is completely confused now. They've got no cooking clue what we are on about. All right, so let's move on. Then what we got there? That's cupboards.
Yeah, it's
And are you going
inside inside those cupboards are my liquid abrasives, acetone, anything liquid goes in those cupboards on the left there. On the one that you're on right now is all my safety equipment, my glasses, my gloves, aprons, that kind of stuff goes in there.
I like the way that cupboard is set up. I really, honestly, I love the small.
I paint all my cupboards with chalkboard black so that I can sketch out stuff, I can write notes. And permanently on one of those cupboards is if you look to the right there very slightly, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if I can cover it, but yeah, there you go. You can see there we go. You can see there the process of forging out a blade, and I just made it permanent. And I had the two pieces of advice. One was hit it like it owes you money.
I'm trying to find that now.
Okay, that's a Damascus recipe that I was working on.
There's chemicals, some cool stuff hidden away.
Yeah, all the cool stuff is hidden away. That's so hidden that I only discover them when I clean my workshop. It's like, oh, I didn't know I had that. Awesome.
I'm not trying to find. Oh, and then, this is your stash, your handle material, drill bits.
No, that's not my handle stash. That's in those white boxes are my precious gator belts. Okay. And on the left there, what we're looking at right now are my drills, which are supposed to be neatly in their size, holes and everything, but most of them just lying on their side, like we do in most workshops. Yeah. Underneath there is wood that's deemed not good enough for handle material, and also wood that other people have given me that's actually not my wood. It belongs to them. I'm just holding it on for them. Okay. There's cutting fluid there. You can see. Would you please put the ribs in the oven?
What brand of cutting fluid are you using?
I bought it from you, so I don't know what it is.
Okay. All right, so it's just ordinary cutting fluid.
Yeah.
Water soluble cutting fluid. Yeah. And then you've got a stand pedestal drill there.
Yeah, that's my freestanding drill press. It's hang on. Stupid dog. I use it to do all my guards and drill my handles and drill the holes for my narrow tangs, and basically any drilling that's done in my workshop is done on that drill press. I do have another drill press that I use for almost leather exclusively. So it's got one 2mm drill bit put in it, and that's all it does.
And then you've got your high-speed buff. I'm still so damn, man. And I've tried to go and find one of those. I can't find them. Just cannot find it.
Lay them 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay.
Must I grease it? Or...
No, you don't have to grease it. Sorry, I'm telling my daughter how to prepare dinner.
Oh, excellent.
Grilling. So put it all the way up for the 3 little arrows. Okay. Cool. So she's making us ribs for dinner.
Sorry, I'm trying to see whether I can actually downgrade the quality of the video, but I can't.
And that might be a problem. So I did film at full HD 60 frames a second.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's just I have to film everything like that. So when I do YouTube videos, I've got all my footage is the same quality for the editing guide.
Of course. And there is the red one, which I can't stop the video now. So there's the red monster, and that's the one you say that's set up with the 2mm drill specifically for stacked leather handles.
So I've set it up at the highest speed it's got, which is very fast. The thing is a cast iron, so it doesn't wiggle, it doesn't move. The shaft on that thing is as solid as the day it was engineered. It's magnificent. It's a bit oily, you can see there, but yeah. And I set up with a 2mm drill bits. There's a little table set up real close with a block of wood, and you drill all the little holes for leather stitching. That's all that machine does. Oh, and that machine. And the machine helps me with the dome, the first half of a domed pin, because it runs so fast. Yes. I've got a little piece of metal with a concave in it, like Neels showed me, and you just run the high speed and just push slowly. And as the tip of the pin heats up, it melts. It doesn't melt. It almost semi-liquefies and it goes whoop and turns into a little mushroom. And then I take a small file and I just file the end of that mushroom off to make it flat while it's spinning. And there, ta-da! One end of a domed pin is done.
Yeah. So the next one is you take your off, all right, and while it's spinning, you put a little polishing mop on it.
A little.
All right. And you put a little polishing mop on it. You know, a small little polishing mop with a flexi shaft. You put that on there. All right, add a bit of buffing compound, and while it's spinning, you put a flexi cord on it, and you go, and it comes off, and it's fully polished. Done.
I just take it off, hold in a pair of pliers, and apply it to that big fat buff you saw earlier. That works just as well.
Okay. Well, then problem solved.
Okay, so this little guy I called the mule.
And then I remember that part.
I call the mule because when you wind it, it goes And no matter how much I oil it, and no matter how much I grease it, within 2 days it starts making that noise again. So now this is a genuine truth. If you own a knife from me, the guard that you're working on has been held by that vise. It doesn't matter what knife you make. I had this vise when I was in my 2 meter by 2 meter shed in the bottom of the garden making knives. Okay,
so
I've been using this knife. Yeah, it desperately needs a service. I use it for welding. I use it for delicate vine filing and rope filing on spaces. I use it for fitting guards. I use it for drifting on handles and guards and everything. That file has seen abuse like you can't believe it. And every now and again, I have to tighten up the jaw inserts, but it still works. And good old mule.
Excellent. We're almost halfway through your walkthrough now. All right, and I'm suspecting we're going to go over to. You had quite a bit to say about that vise.
Yeah, I just told you.
There were files. Oh, look at that, files.
There you go, files. Okay.
All right. So from all of those files, which handle there's two types of handles. All right.
Yeah.
You've got the more ergonomic one, like this one I have here.
Yeah.
All right. It's exactly the same. And then the more blocky ones from the left, the third one and the fourth one. Which of those?
I like the ergonomic ones. They are definitely more comfortable. I don't like those big round ones.
All right. So that's pretty much what I term a broomstick handle. You'll notice. Sorry, I'm just going to make myself in center here. If we can do that. Yeah. Done. Yeah. So if you notice, you can actually see the taper on the handle.
That makes a difference.
Yes. You hold it because your hand is not a broomstick. Yeah. Okay, so that works well, as opposed to just having a broomstick or a freaking ball. Yeah. Which one do you think is going to be more comfortable? And I'll obviously do a rant on these golf balls at a later stage. Yeah. But anyway, so let's get back to the workshop. So what do you use your files for? And how come you only have 2, 4, 6, 7 files, 8 files?
Those are my favorite files. That's the special, that's the special holder that holds my favorite files, the ones that do the most work. Okay. I have another file rack of lots of files with dust on them. Okay. But when I use files, those are the ones that I use.
Your drawer or holder. Yeah.
That's fine.
What time will the ribs be ready? Nick is asking. Yeah, I wanted to know as well. Yeah, and is Wednesday normally rib?
Now.
Is rib normally Wednesday is normally rib night?
No, it's been a while since we had ribs, so I thought I'd spoil the guys tonight.
So what you're doing next week, Wednesday? Is it going to be rib night? Or I only want to know for a friend. You might be taking a.
Yes,
Thanks, man. Yeah, buddy, I agree.
You've been an owl.
Okay.
Nick, no. I prefer not to use balls as knife handles. Although there are guys that have taken literally lion crap and elephant crap. I'm talking elephant shit, elephant dung, resined it up, and then used that shit as a knife handle. Yeah, so you literally have a shitty knife. Yeah, and like those guys can contest, you can polish it. So yeah, you can. I mean, it's now proven you can literally put anything on a knife handle. Yeah, but balls, I don't know. Unless it's a bollocks dagger, it shouldn't be there, man. We got to go off topic again. Let me get you back on track here. So your file.
I need to get going now. Come on, let's see. What do we got now? Here we go. Those are all my polishing sticks.
Buffing sticks.
Yeah. No, not buff sticks. Polishing sticks.
Polishing sticks.
No buff sticks. Yeah. So I've got the leather coated ones. I've got ones with steel on them to keep my surfaces really flat. And I've got a different shape polishing stick for every shape of grind and bevel and whatnot.
All right. What else have we got? Oh, there's the other files. You've got a load of clamps there.
Yeah.
Anything specific regarding the clamps?
Nah, just spring clamps, as many as you can. Trust me, you'll need them all.
And you use those specifically on Scandi sheaths, right? Or do you use them on your normal sheaths as well?
I use them on Scandi sheaths. I use them when I'm clamping like flat tangs, full tangs. If I want to clamp wood onto a full tang just to get an idea of shapes. If I'm gluing one piece of material to another that's quite small, that works fine for me as well. So yes, lots and lots of small spring clamps.
All right, and then your
which is not working
bandsaw,
because both of my guides are broken. So I need to find a market supplier and get the guides replaced. Yeah,
they are fairly easy to find. They really are. I think Pretoria's.
We'll have a chat later, and you can tell me where to find them because I can't find them.
What else have you got in here, man? That's your welding rods.
Well, yeah, it's not much else. The last big thing in the workshop, I talk about the bandsaw for a bit. Yeah, this is the last big thing in the shop. These are my drawers of handle materials. I traded that for a Bowie knife, and it keeps all my cool stuff that I want to use for handle materials. You get the last drawer open. There you go. That's not bad. That's my special drawer.
That's your special drawer. Is that the bottom drawer?
Yeah. And that's it. That's the outside of my workshop.
Excellent. And then you do a turn, and I'm assuming that you're backing away here.
Yeah,
there we go.
That's the end. Yeah, that's
so
the last.
That is a single garage setup. And if you had to, if you've had the time, right? So let's go. Thank you for sharing that with us, by the way, buddy.
Yeah.
Let me just get my cursor back here. And we're going to go into that view, and I'm just going to remove that. So hopefully that'll help a bit. Okay, so if you had to change anything regarding that layout, what would it do?
Yeah.
What would it be? In other words, someone paid you for a month to say, okay, cool, you can now rearrange. Don't worry about money. You can rearrange that entire shop. What would you do? Is there anything that you would change?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm very happy with the way it is. If somebody gave me money, I'd might like to rubberize the floor. Other than that, and maybe put some better air extraction and better airflow through my workshop would be nice. But the setup itself, it's perfect. It does exactly what I needed to do. If I had more space, then yes, definitely that would all change. I would have to reorganize my my priorities with space. But with this tiny little bit of space that I've got, the setup is perfect. I don't need anything else. There is one thing I wouldn't mind moving. my buffing machine. I wish I had more space for my buffing machine. It's tucked away in the corner there. There's not a lot of room on either side of it. So
yeah,
I have to kind of buff with caution, you know. But ideally, I'd like to have my own buffing stand somewhere in the open with space around it. But because of my limited space, it's okay where it is for now.
And have you thought about moving that outside?
Where I live, although crime is not very high, if people
You
see
don't want
shit lying around, I mean, I'm lucky that guys haven't stolen stuff from my anvil and my workshop and my hammers and metal and stuff. I'm lucky that nobody's touched that yet. So I don't want to take any chances, especially with expensive tools, because as soon as they see a machine, they think copper, and then suddenly I become noticed, and then they want to start shopping inside my workshop. So I would rather not have that.
A valid question. Why don't you use the Red Beast for the normal drilling when it is clearly the superior of the two?
Change the gears to lower the ratio for steel.
Okay.
Is like a 5-minute job, you know.
All right.
It's real old-fashioned. So you gotta open it up, and you've got to loosen this, and you got to loosen that, and you got to realign this, and you've got to make a sacrifice to some other god, and you know. And then once all the stars are aligned, then you can set it and reduce the speed. And we don't have the fish to do the job properly.
All right. So Dave is also commenting on the balls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
okay,
use the ball.
Before you carry on with that, I'm going to sign off now before you start ranting about your balls.
Okay.
I'm going to go and do as nature intended and finish preparing dinner.
Did you see Werner's comment there?
Yeah, I know.
So too late. Okay.
That's what I've got the other GoPros for, man.
Yeah, man. So Werner, seeing that you wanna comment, I might as well just book you now for Friday.
Yeah.
Hey, so Werner, you up for having this chat on Friday? Werner Smith is also a good mate, brilliant knife maker. He is working, unfortunately, full-time from home. So he's also got a daughter that he looks after, and his wife. And his wife, she is seriously qualified, man, in the whole karate thing. Yeah, and way back when I did karate, she taught me. She was the chick that every time someone came in and asked a question about their kid doing karate, I was the guy being thrown on the floor by his wife. Mm-hmm. I was like the crash test dummy, man. Short. What time, Werner? I shall chat to you in the morning, but it is 4:45 to 7. Yeah, or 6. Now Stuart is jumping out an hour early. Damn it!
Today's a special occasion.
We've discussed this. I'm going to do as I can. Thank you for your time. All right, buddy. So sign off. Where do we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Smith Hand Forged Knives. You can find me on Facebook at Smith Hand Forged Knives, and of course, right here on Facebook at Smith Hand Forged Knives. On YouTube. Words.
So you go to Google. Yeah, you type in Smith Forged Knives, and Mr. Google will take you wherever you need to go.
Don't follow that one that's porn. Okay. That I wasn't paid very well for.
If you follow the music links, no, it's not him. Stuart Smith is not the band Stuart Smith. It is the knife maker.
Yeah, that's Stuart Smith, the British pop band. Yes. All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Buddy.
I'll chat to you.
Pleasure, man.
On Friday.
Thank you for joining us. All right. Okay, so that leaves me, and even Luan is telling me that he is now going to take his load of crap and leave. All right. So in the meanwhile, we are going to try to set up my workshop tour. So just bear with me here. I don't know if this is going to work. Mine is not as exciting as Stuart's was. I need to just say that outright. Yeah. So we're going to see whether this is actually going to work. I don't know. Let's just move this over there. It is not working at all for me. So let's do this. Hold on. 2 seconds. I need to increase the volume on that. Ladies and gentlemen, just bear with me here. 2 more seconds.
The forge, or the shop.
You are actually hearing the feedback.
Well, welcome to Black Dragon Forge.
Stop. No, don't welcome to Black Dragon Forge, because I need to add you into the stream, you dumbass. Okay, so there we go. Let's try this. I don't know if it's going to work.
This little shop tour, right? We haven't done one in years, so here we go. So this is when you enter the forge or the shop. We've got well, our free working area, and this is pretty much where we do all our manufacturing, whether it be forges, knives, assemblies, whatever. Yeah, kilns, anything and everything. Working over into the hot working area, which is obviously where all the fun happens. The press, the die on the wall, the hot working table, so anything that's hot or in progress that is hot sits on the table. Hammer rack, forge in the corner, swage blocks, my favorite anvil, and there's 4 of them. We've got an overhead big screen, so if we do large assemblies, we can just put stuff on there, right? Yeah, this forge is in a bit of a state. That little fan there still needs to be mounted, but all in good time. We've got Mr. Twister sitting here, and then this area here is kind of just storage at the moment, because I need to finish the floor on this section. Right, but anyway, then we move over into the machining area. We've got digital lathe, which someone left uncovered. Yeah, sandblasting, blah, 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 blah. This is going into my office, which we'll cover in a moment. And then that is one entry into the grind room, which we'll get to after, well, the office. And we go into my office. This is my...
And obviously this is exactly where I'm sitting at the moment.
I cannot work in chaos. It's nice and cool, nice and clean. So that's knives. This is freaking admin. Yeah, to-do list. My backpacks. Yeah, it's a bit of an issue. Roland 3D carver, which is a wax carving solution. Going out into the office, into like storage, packaging, blah, 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 blah. We've got a little display case, and that's just stuff that's done, but I haven't moved into the safe yet. Packaging, weighing, card machine facilities, my belt storage, my smelting and casting, and the silver soldering station, blah, blah, blah. Office where all the paperwork gets done, right? Of course, we hate that crap. Storage. Upstairs is more storage. Then we're moving into the grind room. This is it. This is where the fun happens, right? So turning right, CO2, MIG welder, stick welder. We've got storage, and someone left them open. At least it's nice and neat. Everything is mounted. Overhead lights. We've actually popped a light over there, and that's why that's a dingy little corner, but that should be sorted within a day or two. We have got 2, 4, 6, 7 grinders in here. Belt storage on the left. Little buff, but I use that as a strop. Yeah. My machine is obviously on, which will change in a moment. 2 disc sanders in the corner there, and these doors can obviously open up to give us more space as we're working. Yeah, paraphernalia table. When I say paraphernalia, that's rigs and jigs and wheels and small wheel attachments and out of the grind room. That's the view going back into the corner. And there's Sean standing right over there doing maintenance on a hand plane for us. Yeah, so that is it. Thank you for joining us, and well, hope to see you in the shop soon. Yeah? Any questions, any comments, ask, man.
So that was obviously not as
welcome to Black Dragon
in
Forge.
detail. Let me just kill this bloody thing.
Years, so here we go.
Oh crap, now it's not killing. Like I said, technology is not playing with me. All right, so there we go. So that was my shop tour. I thought we're just going to do a quick overview. Next time I'll actually spend time and actually chat with Stuart. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that was pretty much it. We are now running 1 hour and 14 minutes. Any questions that we had from anyone else out there? Nothing. If you're wondering what you are watching, it is Blade Talk. Yeah. And if you didn't know, yeah, It's a mic with sound. But anyway, so that was it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. What I would like to do is obviously extend gratitude to my good mate, Mr. Stuart Smith, for joining me on this one. And then upcoming on Friday will be Mr. Werner Smith. I'll pick a topic and then we'll talk crap about that and knives. What I also want to do, and let me know if you guys are interested in this, is I want to cover the tools that I actually use on my finishing bench here. And let me just see if I've got OBS open, and we can change the view a tad. Because what I have done is we can do this, yeah. So setting up and then discussing handles like this old one, yeah. So this is an antique handle, file handle, yeah, and it is actually a Wells unbreakable file handle, and it's got a patent number. This is a number 2. My father-in-law actually gave me this, and what you would do is a cast iron assembly. You would then take wood, shove it in there, and use this one indestructible handle on all your files. Yeah, so that thing is forever and a day old, and that is in my little, I don't know, antique collection. Yeah, but then we can discuss stuff, and I can actually see what we're doing, and I want to get to a point where we actually start a little project. So in every cast that we do, then we can talk. Yeah. So we can talk, and I can show you what I'm doing, and so for every little blade talk going forward, I'll let you guys know where we will spend 15 minutes working on a specific project or discussing and talking about a specific technique. Yeah. So we finally have the software sorted, and we can do this. So let me know if you guys are interested, and then talking about things I want to cover is a scribe. Why is a scribe a scribe, and what should you do with your scribe? Because the one that you buy standard just sucks, right? Whether you've got a carbide tip, a high-speed spiel tip, whether you've taken a drill bit and just sharpened it. I want to cover little bench pin vices, which is something that I'm using quite often. Yeah, so let me put this down there, and then I can flip over the view. Hold on there. All right, so these little bench pin vices, your pin vices, that is a sharpened 3.2 millimeter drill bit that I use as a scribe. Yeah, so things like this. Whether you guys would be interested in learning all these small little things like punches, bench big. Why do I use a bench? What is the use of it? What is this V in it? How come it's full of holes? What is this thing? How come my bench is set up in the way that it is? Mirrors. Where do you use a little mirror in your knife making? Yeah. So I've got a list of things on my whiteboard, which is over there. All right, that we will be covering, or what I would like to cover. So let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing some of those little things. So more specific episodes of Blade Talk where we actually discuss specific things. Yeah. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Let me just get back to a full face view here. Thank you for joining me. And thank you for spending time and humoring me while we're walking through the software and the setup and the whole thing. Yeah, it is really appreciated. Yes, definitely all of the above. Werner is saying. Marcus is also saying, yes, please. And then Jack has said that he has sent me a WhatsApp. I'm not going to look at it now. All right, but anyway, so let me know in the comments below the video, whether it's on YouTube or on Facebook on my profile. Let me know what you want me to cover. Yeah, and a small little project. It's obviously it can't be a knife making project, but it can be something like starting a spine file pattern. So the smaller things on knife making that there isn't any coverage on YouTube or blah blah blah. Yeah, so let me know what hanging motors. If you want me to do reviews on tools, and I will only review stuff that I have actually worked with. Otherwise, it is just my opinion. Yeah. Although the only opinion that really matters in my world is my own opinion. Right, but ladies and gentlemen, that was it. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Blade Talk. Yeah, and we'll catch you on the flip side. In other words, flip side would be Wednesday, same time, which is 5 o'clock in the afternoon, between 5 and 7 in the afternoon, GMT +2. Yeah. All right. So that's it. Have fun. Enjoy. We'll check you on the next one. I am Neels van der Berg with Black Dragon Forge for Blade.